What's up, you guys? SlimXTeamSymmetry here to bring you guys a new video today. I'm here to finally do a deck profile for you guys. I haven't done a live deck profile in a while. A lot of you have been asking. I got so many messages on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere that I occupy on the internet that everyone wants to see Elemental Dragons because they know that that's the deck that I've been working on, the deck that I've been playing, and the deck that I'm going to play at this year's Nationals just because, I mean, let's face it, it is the best deck. A lot of people are going to be quick to argue that it's not the best deck, it's too much money, you know, all these things that they say about every deck. They've said it about Mermail, they've said it about Prophecy, they've said it about Evilsworn, they said it about every deck that basically comes out in this game and does well. That's just the thing, is that if you want to do well in this game, you have to play the best deck. You have to play one of the best decks. And I've already gone over what I feel the top 4 decks of the format are, along with the couple other lower tier decks that I feel are good. But just through testing, just through the type of decks I like to play, out of the 3 big ones being Prophecy, Evilsworn, and Dragons, I chose Dragons because I like Dragons. I liked Chaos Dragons. I played them for a long time. I just like the idea of, you know, just spamming big monsters, making Drago sacks, making big eyes, and just winning from there. So yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys like the prototype build that I'm using right now. It's just a test build. It's very consistent. You guys have seen, I'm sure, a million E-Dragon deck profiles, but everyone wanted to see my version, just my thoughts on the decks. I'm going to get into it real quick, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll get into it right now. Alright, you guys, alright, on to the deck. Very basic, you guys already know, just all the big dragons. So you gotta run 3 Blaster, it's actually my favorite one in the deck. 3 Tidal, 3 Tempest, and 3 Redox. You gotta run the babies, you gotta run 2 Burner, 2 Stream, 2 Lightning, and 2 Pebbles, Reactin', I like calling it Pebbles. And then 1 Dragoonity Corseska. Run 1 of the tuners. Running this over Flamville Guard for the fact that you can pitch it with Tempest to get Tempest effect, and it can search you just basically any card you need, and you're able to play around cards like Maxi and whatnot, so that you can get a big super rejuve off even when your opponent drops Maxi. So this card is really good. Shout out to the boy Welchie, because he made me run this over Flamville Guard, and I like this card more. Also for the fact that it's 800. Now a lot of people are going to say that doesn't seem that relevant, but it can. You guys know that this deck spams out really quickly, and that sometimes you need that additional push. Sometimes you'll get like 26, 28, whatever on the field, and you'll need that additional push. Where Flamville Guard would be 100, this is 800. So I mean, this is a 10th of your opponent's life, so this card is just better for like so many reasons. Plus being able to synchro into Crimson Blader is what wins the mirror match. So that's it for the dragons. So it's 21 dragons, and then the hand traps, you have to run 3 Max C, and you have to run 3 Veiler. That's self-explanatory. If you don't have them in the mirror, you lose. Basically, if you don't open with them, you lose. They're just too good, and they're good against like pretty much every deck you play. Against Mermail, having optimal hand traps is always beneficial in that matchup. So that's it for the monsters. I think it's 27 monsters. Spells, the 3 Gold Sark, the 3 Super Rejuve, which is probably getting banned or going to 1. Card's ridiculous. Resolving multiple Super Rejuves basically means you win. In the mirror match, whoever basically opens with it is in a much better position to win, and sometimes you have to decide if you want to chain multiple ones. Like, I discovered like through playtesting that sometimes you do, instead of drawing, you'll draw 4 cards off one, and then you'll decide if you want to activate the other one. The majority of the time you want to activate the other one, and sometimes you might even draw to all 3, and you'll end up drawing 12 cards, and then you're able to set up your graveyard by discarding the cards you don't need and sending your breakthrough skills to the grave to activate next turn. So the card's too busted. The card is basically like the heart of the deck. Then staples, Reborn, Heavy, no Dark Hole, 1 card destruction. Everyone knows how much I love Dark World, so card destruction is just like a staple, and it is the nuts, literally. So, except in the mirror, you never want to blindly card destruction, because if you don't know what you're playing against, don't activate it first turn unless you for sure need to, like if your hand is just really that bad, because if you card destruction in the mirror match and you set them up and you don't draw like the better hand and then they get their turn to go off, you can lose. You can also use it to deck out your opponent. And then 1 Book of Moon, this card has come back. This card is the nuts. I wish this was a CP book, but DT is good enough. And then 1 Sacred Sword of the 7 Stars. This card's good. I originally had 2. I'm glad I cut it to 1 though, because you only need 1. And that's it for the spells, and then just 3 Breakthrough Skill for the traps, because Breakthrough Skill is broken. So that's it for the main deck. It's 41 cards. I'll show you guys my side deck that I'm working with right now. All these cards, I mean, the majority of this is probably going to change by the time Nationals rolls around, but this is just something that I threw together for the time being. So for the side deck, 2 Droll and Lockbirds. This will probably end up going to 3. or find a way to main deck one or something like that, because you need this against Prophecy. It's good. It's decent against Mirror Match. It's mostly for Prophecy, but Prophecy can steal game one so easily with Jowgen and Fate after resolving Judgment Day that you really want to have this. 2 Tsukiyomi. This is becoming like one of my favorite cards in the side deck. Like basically a reusable out against Ophion, because Ophion is a real problem. This is like just one of my favorite cards to draw when playing against Evil Sworns. Just being able to flip that over, being able to flip Jowgen over, Kaiku over, anything that could be a problem. Even in the mirror match, it isn't that bad. I sided one in one time, and I was actually like flipped over a Drago Sack, and I was able to get rid of it. So, card's just really good. 2 Electric Virus for mirror match. It's also good for gadgets. I said gadgets were like probably the 5th best deck, just of how fast and consistent they are. This card's just really good against what is it, Machina Forge, just against like a lot of cards. And I mean, stealing Drago Sacks is really good, and stealing Dragon's Back is just really good. So. Yeah, and then 2 Raikou for not for Prophecy, for Evil Sworn, because Ophion again, and it's good. It's able to hit stuff like Imperial Iron Wall, Soul Drain, Mind Drain, all those cards that could be a real problem in the matchup. That's it for the monsters. 2 Typhoon. I'm only doing 2 Typhoon right now because I'm also side decking 2 Decree. At first I wasn't running these at all, and then I played against a lot more Evil Sworn to realize that if you have the Decree, being able to turn off traps is really important. Billy wrote an article about how Royal Decree should become a staple in the side deck for the fact that when you're playing against Evil Sworn, your main strategy, of course, from eliminating Ophion is to eliminate their back row, because they will side in cards that can hurt you, so Decree is just a really good card. And then, of course, the 3 staple Eradicator Epidemic Virus, so that you can beat Prophecy. So that's it for the side. Just the extra deck real quick. We got 4 tokens, 2 YCS tokens, 1 signed Vexy token, and 1 regular Vexy token. They're broken. Then we have the 3 Drago Sack. You have to run 3. People are saying you can get away with 2. It's not true. You can run 2, and then there's going to be a time where you're going to need the 3rd one, and you're not going to have it. And honestly, you need to have 3 in the extra deck. I am running 3 Big Eye. People like to run 2. I like 3 just for the fact that in mirror match and just against other rogue matches, having extra Big Eye is just really good. The Big Eye war always happens where you Big Eye their Big Eye to Big Eye the Big Eye that Big Eye their Big Eye, so it's just really good. Then 1 Gaia Charge. This card's really good, and 1 Gaios, because you can make it with 2 title. If you open stream title, you can get it off, so card's just really good. And that's it for the XYZs. On to the synchros. 1 Crimson Blader, the best synchro in the extra deck because it wins the mirror match. It wins against mermails. It's really good. You know, just like self-explanatory. 1 Red Dragon Archfiend for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's an Eradicator target. Number 2, it's a dragon. Number 3, it's 3,000, so I can get over a bunch of things. And reason number 4 is it can kill Drago Sack tokens, so that's just really important. 1 Colossal Fighter. Everyone knows about Colossal Fighter, I'm sure by now. Once again, it's an EEV target. It's really good against Crimson Blader because you can crash with Crimson Blader, take their Crimson Blader, use Crimson Blader, attack one of their monsters, and then win. So card's just really good. And of course, you guys already know about the Colossal Maxi deck out your opponent thing if you saw a DD's video. And 1 Scrap Dragon. Card's just really good with Drago Sack. It's too good. You know, target Drago Sack, doesn't die. It's just really good. 1 Thought Ruler Archfiend for Evil Sworn. This is a really good card against Evil Sworn because they run stuff like Dress, they run cards that you can just negate, and this card's just big and it gets over everything, so I like that card. And then 1 Ancient Sacred Wyvern. This card steals games. Self-explanatory, it just steals games. This and a Drago Sack and like another monster is like game. And of course the 1 Armory Arm. So yeah, so that's it for the deck, you guys. I hope you guys liked it. You know, leave your comments below. I know a lot of people are probably not gonna like this deck just for the fact that it's E-Dragons, but you know, that's the way this game goes now. You run one of those 3 decks if you really want to do well. You can run the other decks I've mentioned on the lower tier because they're not what I would say something I wouldn't play. I just think that for the current time, the way the format is going, that running either E-Dragons, Prophecy, or Evil Sworn is probably your best bet if you want to be successful at locals, regionals, and other events. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Thumbs up for the Kamehameha, and thank you for watching.